Creepy reading. We talk about Silverquill, Josh Scorcher, the creepy pasta community, Grimdark, Toon Kritic, how creepy reading used to be part of the Bernie Show, Vita, and so much more. I do jump around, and I wanted the part of Silverquill and Josh at the start of the call. There is a previous recording from a call I wanted to include where Creepy talks about Ryan Reno Mills as well as Digibro and his recent lolly rant in his public buffoonery on Twitter, where he made a total ass of himself. This overall lasted 7 hours plus. I was there for 4.5 of it. These crazy bastards just kept going, and, well, before that I had gone to bed. I'm very grateful my girlfriend didn't leave me while this was going on. This is the first of a 2-parter. See you soon.
Record again. All right, we're backing up to Silverquill.
Okay. Hello, I guess I'm live again.
Yeah, we're live again.
Start and fucking creepy reading isn't even here, and you're already recording. Like you've got a fucking half-hour footage before the guy shows up, and then you just stop it halfway through the fucking conversation.
Well, I don't know. I thought right when never mind. Get back on point. You were saying how you were comparing how Josh Scorcher was doing so much of a better job than Silverquill, perhaps. If you wanted to go into that, if not, I guess I'll just scrap this whole part.
Okay. Before I go into anything, before I present any opinion, I want to go out and say that, just so it's on record here. I don't think that Silverquill is like a bad person or anything like that. I just want to say, I just want to say that a lot of people who are giving Josh like hate and like crediting him with like being the bane of the community and for being this ultra hyper evil villain of the community for daring to do something about the literal pedophile who's still like evading justice and all this jazz. I mean, God, I completely forgot the point where I was at. I'm so well spoken. Everyone's giving Josh hate, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that I don't really appreciate, like, in the irony of that, is that they're hating on Josh for doing something. Well, people like Silver and all that jazz and Lily Pete aren't actively helping in this guy's arrest. And while they have no obligation to, I think it's highly hypocritical that people are smacking the hand that is actively trying to do something, and one of the only people actively trying to do something. It's just like I don't know. I don't think.
No, that's
it's hard. It's hard to.
It's one of those. It's a frustration thing where he's like. He's actively working towards a solution for this thing, and people are shitting on him for going about it the wrong way, and he's never had to deal with this before. And I totally understand the hypocrisy in me saying this, because I shat on the guy. I shat on the guy pretty fucking hard. But I understand that, like I said, he's never had to deal with something like this. This is not something that's in the purview of his experience, and maybe a little bit of forbearance would be a good thing in that kind of situation.
Like, I wish people would kind of keep in mind about the fact that, the guy's trying. He's trying his best, and he's been given a shitty situation, and no matter what he does, people are going to shit on him for being friends with Toon. Even though he had no idea that Toon was a pedophile beforehand. Like, he's a shitty person. He should have stopped Toon from being a pedophile, like, by smelling the mint berries on his breath. That is the pure indicator sign that Toon is a pedophile, because he met him in real life. And the guy's gonna get hate no matter what he does, because he has that association with Toon, even if, like, the relation was tangential. Like, to kind of give you an idea of how close they were, yeah, they met at conventions and all that jazz, and yeah, they've worked on projects before, but they didn't even know each other's political or religious views. Something that I learned from Josh literally like day one. So they weren't that. What's it called?
They weren't besties.
They weren't like RL best friends. They were kind of like YouTube business friendos. And
But didn't Josh know? Like, obviously he didn't know about the grooming and all that bullshit. But did he know of like the previous like recounts of Toon being a garbage person? or no?
I actually can explain something on here, because I actually asked that very same question on my end when I first interviewed him, trying to figure out what the hell was going on here and look at the shit show from, my corner of the internet. And the response I got from Josh, and basically collaborated by all the other people in the analysis community, is that Josh is a insular person. He isn't someone, like, if you're his best friend, like I have become, I could call him up any day and we'll hang out. We'll, do fun stuff, and we'll get close. But the thing is that he isn't in the circles of, like, they're in the analysis community. There are little social circles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just the analysis community and then all the big people are hanging out, beating their chests and drinking and having a good old time on spring break. It's like you got the Dr. Wolf circle, you got the Silver Quill circle, you got the Josh circle, and they kind of intersect on occasion, but they don't. He's heard of a few things, a few of the less egregious offenses, and has confronted them on those less egregious offenses. But it's not
Can I speak up on that really quick?
Yeah.
He didn't know about all that much, but Toon Kritic, when he was doing his cartoon stick, had Josh on the panel live when he was highlighting the I have the Minty Root post-orgy plushie incident. He knew a couple of things, because, Toon kind of, like, shook it in front of the audience's face and got a pop. So, did he know about...
I'm not saying they didn't know about nothing. Yeah, I'm saying that he didn't know about some of the more egregious offenses.
Oh, no, I'll admit,
didn't know about the frequency.
Yeah, I spoke to Josh and I said, look, I believe you got super fucking unlucky.
He knew he was a sexual deviant and that he was weird. He just didn't think he was a fucking pedophile.
I was even going to kind of cut that in half. He probably knew about half as much as I think the closer inner crew knew. Because he wasn't in fucking Toon's room until, like, the very end. And he's like, that's not fair. I was like, no, I agree. That's not fair. You got fucked. I'm sorry. you got super goddamn unlucky there that those same people decided to turn to you for advice, and it just so happens that the advice you gave was what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, this whole question, by the way, stems from a misconception I think comes from Lily Pete's crowd. Lily Pete's first video on it kind of made me sick to my stomach, mainly because she got a lot of her facts wrong. I understand the good that this individual is trying to do.
Lied is what you're looking to say, sir.
What?
Lied. Got your facts wrong implies that there was an oops. That was very...
I cannot for sure say yes or no. I like to believe that that Lily Pete's the type of person that believes that as long as they have a tangential idea of what's going on, they can assert their opinion or their beliefs on what happened as though they are fact and presented to their audience. And that is just something that philosophically me and her are going to have to disagree with. But in her original video, she says, oh, it's all because Josh and, like he doesn't really she doesn't really name drop many other people. I think it was just Josh. And he literally just blamed Josh and gave Josh credit for the entire community without understanding necessarily how the community works, which is something I was able to ascertain in about a day or two of research and reaching out to people.
See, this is the problem with all this, and this is what's always bothered me with the way that the analysts handled all this. It's the idea that when you take your name, especially in this fucking fandom, and you associate it with the project with other fucking people, you better make sure that your name is going in the right place.
Okay. I want to talk about this on the whole thing on, Josh's alleged pull.
Yeah.
I think I've told Jim this, that Josh and KP went up to Toon Kritic to drop me as a friend. And oddly enough, that same name I tossed you earlier, Lost, is the person who convinced Toon, hey, Josh isn't going to save your ass the next time you get in trouble, Anthony is. I'm not doing myself any favors by pointing that out now, but that's what it was. Josh had people who were willing to respect him and go with the flow, which is a lot, don't get me wrong, but you could tell the motherfucker no. You could totally be like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
There's a limited number of people, myself, Kichi FIM, I'm assuming not that much more, but yeah, especially after the whole Digi crew. Not many people would have told Josh no, but yeah.
Oh, this kind of goes back to the thing that I was talking about the last time you had me on the We Don't Forgive Toon Kritic thing.
Yeah.
Was that like the brony fandom and a lot of these people are like, I don't really like using the term betas, but there's not a lot of assertiveness going on in the brony fandom. So when somebody like Josh shows up, and I'm not going to lie, I've never met the guy in person, but I've seen some footage of him at cons, and I watched his videos for a good long while, like probably 2, maybe 3 years.
I'll be fair. It is hard to tell him no. It is.
He's got a very commanding presence.
Yes.
He's not exactly like, I wouldn't call the guy physically intimidating, but he's got a very commanding presence. He's got a personality about him. And he's also a Marine, so he's probably had some experience in leadership, even if it's just like, exercises and stuff like that, and not actually leading people into combat or whatever. So when somebody shows up in a group of people who don't have a lot of assertiveness about them, and he has that commanding presence about him, people will kind of defer to this guy, because even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, he knows how to make it seem like he knows what he's talking about, or he could move everybody in one of the better directions, if not the best one.
I mean,
so I don't
blame
blame Josh for people following him, because that's as much on the people who followed him as it is on Josh himself.
No, and that's completely fine too. I don't mind people following him and all that jazz. I don't have any complaints about that. Honestly, it's actually worked in our favor, because I kind of pulled a Voldemort, the nameless one, as I kind of slinked into this community. Like, remove the Jesus here, remove it.
Talk about
Wolf,
Jesus a little bit
you
less.
are going to start adding disclaimers.
God damn it.
So then Josh goes to talk to Wolf, and we have disclaimers now, right?
Yeah.
So score 1 for Voldemort here. Look, and people say Voldemort lives don't matter.
That's a dirty lie.
I was like, you're still recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Well, he told me to turn it the hell back on, and I feel
Oh,
like,
no.
I don't feel we lost anything there after we got back to
no, we didn't.
Yeah.
Probably.
I didn't even talk about Linkar.
I have some tidbits to that, but I will that later, not now.
No problem.
You mean tease.
No, you can't do
I know.
that. I can't do that. You can't come on while we're running tape and say I've got stuff to add. But
You're such a dirty bastard, Jesus.
This is why she won't be on the next podcast. You guys are like, hey, bitch, fucking talk.
That word never exited.
Get on the microphone, bitch.
Oh my God.
Would it help if I said please?
I got money.
Please,
it's more
bitch.
of I need to ask someone before I say something.
Oh,
That's
if it's
why.
Magpie, say no more. No problem.
That's why I need to.
No. Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't want to let any info out unless I ask. So.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just fucking around, to be honest.
Oh no, I know you guys are. I'm not even taking offense to that. Don't worry.
I'm everything I'm saying. I'm making sure I'm carefully crafting it to be what I mean for it to say. Like, I'm going to be totally honest here. When it comes to like dealing with drama, right? There's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. The wrong way to do it is when people misinterpret what you say and turn you into an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is that whenever you get into something like this, people are going to do that anyway.
It does help if you make sure that you actually say what you mean to say. Like, I can go on here and say something like, oh, Mr. Creepypasta is a piece of shit and I hate him.
I'm going to be clipping that out for use later.
Yeah, you'll just send that soundbite to MCP, that'll be great.
I'm going to send that.
But I could say that, and but that's not what I really mean. I don't really hate the guy, honestly. Honestly, like when we did talk and all that jazz, he seemed like a pretty cool dude, and he has his own business to run, and I totally respect that. Now, would I criticize the way he's handled things? Would I say that I'm personally not his friend? Well, yeah, I could, and it's just all about how you word it,
Yeah, and MCP really is one of the good ones. He's like actually a decent person. He just like he doesn't know how to handle certain things, and hey, that's okay. Not everybody is going to, but I know a lot of people that actively talk to MCP or talk to him on the regular. Like, they were friends with him in Skype groups. They would play video games together and shit like that. MCP actually is one of the good people in the creepypasta community. He actively avoids trying to be a dick or trying to do bad things. He's he's a stand-up guy, from what I've heard at least. Like I say, I've only talked to the guy a couple of times, but MCP's a good guy.
Certainly.
Should I hit stop now?
I don't know. We could
Now you've got me hyped to get over the call. You were like, oh, hey, I've got this amazing thing.
Let's just say Mag and I have had our hand behind the scenes in the analyst with the Toon Kritic thing.
Okay.
I saw your video on it. I
Yeah.
want to commend you on that, by the way. I'm
Matt,
seeing
I
you
was gonna say-
on
Okay.
the outside like, okay, this video shit, that video shit. What the fuck were you smoking? And then I saw your video. I'm like, oh my god, someone who knows how to write.
Okay, so let me back you up there, and I want to get this fixed right now. It was like, oh, the anal. I'm like, no, the ripoffs from that guy with the glasses part of the Brony analysis community, the untalented hacks and the ripoff artists. Get the fuck out.
How do I even? All right, let me just add her. Let me just add her, and then we can all have
Tell
a
me to
nice
hit
talk
stop.
on that.
You stop, right?
Let me see. Let me
Stop recording.
Credited with the top 10 community, aka Alex, put him over, but then Ryan kind of turned into being kind of Tumblr-y himself.
By the way, I know Ryan. He fucking made a video about me and Tats when me and him got popular.
Oh, he hated Tats.
Oh. Just so you know, oh yeah, he can hate Tats all he fucking wants. That dude's my best friend.
Oh, well, let's put it this way.
Tats is the one who gave me my career, to give you an idea.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, when I
like, say whatever you want about Tats. You can be mean to him, you can hate him, whatever.
Okay.
Tats is honestly one of the awesomest dudes out there. He gave me a chance, literally for no reason, and because of him, I am where I'm at today. I have nothing but nice things to say.
Yeah, fuck, I completely lost my thought there.
I think he got upset. Like, he made a video getting upset about the fucking ordering of a list about how subjectively creepy things are.
Well,
and it's like, okay, man.
Criticizing top tens is mostly just opinion, and it's almost a giant waste of time. But the thing I got
is a waste of time. That is
unless it's
like I make top tens. I just make tens.
Yeah, if you're doing like a top 10 where you can actually measure like some kind of effectiveness, where you can kind of put some level of objectivity in there, maybe then, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I remember dealing with Rhino and his people, because I mean, like, Tats got a little upset about it. I'm like, Tats, don't worry, So I talked to him and I smoothed it over. I just like, I mean,
I have a fun story about Ryan. Fucking, I was in a Brony group where they're like, there's this guy who's bullying MLP analysts, and I was like, you know what? I like a good fight. Give me a second. Where's his channel? I'm gonna go over there and pick a fight. I started talking to him in the fucking comments section, and then like 5 minutes later, I started donating him $1 because he was really funny. No, once upon a time ago, Ryan was like a really wacky, out there kind of like fun guy to talk to, and then he got all socially aware, and his head up his ass. Do you know who Doodle Tones is?
Doodle Tones, I've heard about him.
Yeah, that is
Doodle Tones. I've talked to that fucker. Yeah, I know that person. That fucking transgender dude.
Yeah.
Talks of a voice changer.
Yeah.
I know him.
I think somewhere between Silver Keyblade and Doodle Tones kind of turned Ryan into a fucking Tumblrina. And they're like, I remember he started pulling away. He's like, look, Ryan, I'm not changing. He's like, well, maybe I have. I'm like, all right, whatever. You motherfucker. Jesus.
Fucking, I mean, go back to living in fucking obscurity, you fucking cunt, You can laugh back at this when you're 40 years old and realize this whole Tumblr feminism thing was kind of fucking stupid.
I don't know. That dumb shit'll probably be going too long. I can't guess at it, but fuck.
No, they'll find something stupider to fucking argue about, like holograms being bad for children. Fuck if I know. They'll find something. But yeah, no. I mean, the only thing I would have changed in the video is like just have you just be like, oh, by the way, Alex, you got your research wrong. It was this guy who did that, not Josh. So maybe you should like credit people with the right. That's the thing that fucking bothers me so hard. No one but me and Josh are actually bothering to research shit before making big old posts that makes people all upset. Me and him are literally the only people who does basic fucking research.
Okay,
also known as a Google search.
Whether you or Josh are upset right now, and you can tell that I'm not like a Josh super fan. All of my fans are like, Josh is completely in the clear. Like, nobody believed Alex. So
yeah, no. No, Josh was upset because, like I said, they were friends, dude. They were friends, and I felt bad for the guy because I know it's like to lose a friend, even if no matter how belligerently wrong they are.
You kind of have to kind of walk your friends through it, try and get them on, as clear, and then if you want to fucking put some Now I'm waiting for somebody to say, "What about Toon?" Well, Toon's a pedophile.
There's a pedophile.
You can stick with friends until they start, doing that kind of crap. But
yeah, I mean that's just holding people accountable. But like he's like sitting there. That's the one fucking thing I'm kind of getting sick from the opposition, just being all pro censorship. It's like, look, you don't have to watch these videos. Hell, fucking unsubscribe. Do what you want. Don't watch the videos. I mean, these videos aren't even being monetized. They're not making any money off of this. You're just you're complaining that they exist, and I'm sorry, but they do. You're gonna have to deal with that, man. Bill Cosby.
Hey,
like
you know what? Back in the day,
the Cosby Show.
Yeah, back in the day. The fact that it was just merely D&D would have been enough to get people to fly off the fucking handle.
Right. So I mean, I guess that's their like in the future they're going to be watching videos on a microwave box that pisses people off somehow. Like, God, fuck. But yeah, I mean, that's just the thing that's been bothering me. Just people not doing their research. I don't have any issues with you. You're honestly awesome, guy.
Oh, thank you.
I'm happy with. You've been doing. You're well researched. No, don't get me wrong. You're opinionated. Your words
no
are.
Doubt. Yeah, no, I've.
And that's fine.
like Anthony is coming at this from a fucking an invested perspective. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a faggot for having feelings. I'm sorry for caring about shit.
There's nothing wrong with being divisive and opinionated, so long as your opinion's based on actual fucking fact and the facts that you present are actually real.
See, would I have been able to use any of your thing there from like the Ryan or the Tats thing at all? I'd probably run it by you first.
Oh, feel free. I mean, those videos were still up. This is like back in 2015, mind you. So like shit, man, that's a long time ago. But yeah,
Ryan always kept talking about. He's like, oh yeah, the CC back in 2015, I saved the community.
Oh, you saved it from fucking what? Like obscurity? Shitty videos? I mean, you contributed to those shitty videos, so Like, I don't have a problem with criticism. I just have a problem with unsubstantiated claims. Especially when you have an audience, And I don't care, Like, my fucking fan base is the type of people that laugh at horror comedies and, like, enjoy watching people get dismembered on television. The people who, like, will watch a movie because... hey, it got a 10 out of 10 on IMDb for violence and gore, so fuck it, I'll sit through some bad acting.
I think we've all enjoyed a good horror movie, shit.
Oh, dude, but I've built my fan base around that.
Oh yeah, one of the people I have coming on for the podcast Wednesday, his name's Jim Fury, he used to read creepypastas. He's a old friend of mine. He used to be friends with Toon until, obviously. Believe
it or not, the creepypasta community hates my guts.
Well, Jim didn't...
They hate
I loved Jim's fucking response when we were fucking telling him about the Josh Scorcher Silver Quill thing. If you heard one of my earlier videos where the guy's like, what are these people drooling on themselves, beating their heads against the wall retarded? That was Jim.
I mean, the one thing I'll give fucking Josh I won't give to Silver Quill is at least fucking Josh is doing something about it while Silver Quill's just kind of plugging his ears and pretending hoping it goes away.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try and use that. Thank you. I'll run it by you first.
Mean, look, fuck, Josh has his emotional problems. We all fucking know this, right? And he says some fucking stupid shit when he doesn't have a level-headed retard like me telling him what to do. But, like, I mean, shit.
No, I remember when you said that the video was going to be like 80% more Jesus, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, he was going to try to explain why, the definition of forgiveness is, and try to explain the context behind it. I'm like, look, man, most of these people here that are watching are secular. I'm sorry. Like, you can explain it, but we got to explain it in a few words and then keep the fucking thing on topic.
Yeah.
We're not here to proselytize. And he's like, the first response to me was...
If you're going to proselytize, do it from a position of strength and success, which you do not have at this exact moment.
Yeah. He's totally like, well, I'm not afraid of, like, showing my Christianity. I'm like, it's not about being afraid to show your Christianity. It's about respecting the situation and understanding the viewpoints of other people who are going to be watching your content.
Yeah.
So, that's how it's going to be perceived. I know that's not your intention,
I was going to say, I know plenty of Christian people who are really pissed off at how you worded that in the first place, so even then, you might want to just go the secular route.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of annoyed. I mean, honestly, I'm really annoyed at fucking people like Silverquill and shit, you know, because I've dealt with their types before on YouTube. I've met them once. I'm in Josh's like D&D Discord. I swear to God, I get him like $70 every time I show up for D&D. It's not even fucking funny, and I'm kind of fucking jealous. But you know, no, I've met him. It's just I know people like him, and just so you know too. Like, just to give you context on Josh's situation, I understand why Josh was really fucking sad, upset, and, like, emotional when, you know, Alex said this, even though he was, like, emotionally just in the wrong. Objectively, too. Like, he was just in the wrong. But I'm thinking back to the time when I first started being a YouTuber, and I got 50,000 subscribers, and then one of my biggest heroes on YouTube called me out. He was another narrator for Tat's Top Videos called Kenshin Mizuhara. Mm-hmm. He was one of the main narrators for Tats, and he was actually seen as like kind of the funny guy on there. The thing is, Kenshin Mizuhara has a dead dad and likes to use that as an excuse to be an asshole to everyone and anyone he doesn't like slightly. Yeah, you know, I mean, no, his dad died, and it's just like, I'm like, oh man, that's real sad. But then I'm talking about, you know, the sponsorship that I got, you know, because like, think about it from my perspective. I'm a fucking 15, 16-year-old, right? Yeah. And someone wants to send me a $400 pair of headphones in the hopes that I'll show it off in a video at some point without even needing me to sign a contract. Just the fact that they want me to use their expensive headphones. Dude, that's fucking crazy. Hmm? Like, I lived in Detroit. Dude, I was living in Hamtramck. All right, the most expensive thing I owned got stolen a week after I bought it.
I'm going to call this right now. You're going to give me all these amazing calls, and when I get you on the podcast, you're going to be like, I just don't feel like talking. I've had that happen. Nope. Where I'm like, every one of these calls are just pure platinum uncut gold.
No, I will fucking talk shit about Kenshin. Yeah, I mean, like, the better I got, the worse he did, as though I sapped his success and luck like some sort of fucking necromancer of a life siphon. But yeah, no, he made a video about me saying that, like, you know, I'm a YouTube whore, I abuse my fans, and that I stole his idea for reading creepypastas, even though Mr. Creepypasta was doing it years before you even bothered. And you upload like once a month, and your channel includes music reviews, food reviews, ASMR of all fucking things, and random rants. You see what I'm saying? It's the people who whisper into the microphones and kind of try to create that tingling feeling in your ear with some sort of vibration that you get from the microphone hiss, and a lot of people like it for some reason. Also, they like weird role plays. Some people will literally listen to someone else eat food quietly.
I've heard about that, but I didn't see what...
It's fucking weird and stupid, and Kenshin Mizuhara's channel is just bad because it has no focus, and it's unedited most of the time, and it's garbage. And, like, of course, I never said that to him because he's into Tat's Top Videos thing, and he was, like, kind of like one of my fucking heroes, right?
Oh, dude, but, I got that beat. I got... Let me show you something. Do you know who Digibro is?
Yeah, I know that guy.
Oh, let me show you something. This was all over the place yesterday. Holy brother. Let's see if I could find it.
I just so you know, I've taken on so many fucking huge YouTube channels. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Take a read of that. This is not a joke because he fucking privated his fucking Twitter account right after he got the backlash. I hear Patreon has instituted new rules banning illustrations of incest, bestiality, and lolly porn. Now I'm going to give Digi the benefit of the doubt because I know his tastes from his podcasts. It's the lolly porn he's bitching about. Why does Patreon stand to gain by shunning artists based on fetishes they draw? If they think this is a moral line in the sand, I've lost a ton of respect for them. One, Digi, you make $3,000 on Patreon. You're not going to do a goddamn thing. And if they told you to delete this tweet, you would. You'd be like, yes, sir. You got it, massa. I'll do it right away.
Let me explain something to you, my guy. All right. On one hand, there is a agreeable part of the argument, but on the other hand, there's also a part of the argument that is just blown out of the water. Number one, lolly porn I don't really think should be illegal because I don't like if you're not hurting anyone.
It's state by state by which ones that are, and I could see why Patreon would be like, I don't want to bother trying to see where it's going to be because the website...
I'll get to that point.
Yeah, that'll be...
I just think that if you're not hurting anyone and you happen to have a fetish for drawn anime girls who are younger in age, who gives a fucking shit, right? Just do what you need to do and keep it out of my fucking
you could
face.
see why he got such a backlash, especially since I noticed some of the Brony fans caught this and they're all up in arms because of the Toon Kritic thing. And I was like, how unfortunate for you, but oh well.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, that's my personal belief. I don't think. But that said, you know, Patreon as a business has no fucking obligation to support your fucking lolly porn, all right? They're a business and they need to appeal good in the stock market. And when you have lolly porn on your front page, you know, maybe they might be like, hey, let's invest our money somewhere else. Don't want to get all Pizzagate up in here.
Jesus.
So, fuck you, man. It's not a moral line. It's a business line as a bit. Like, and here's the thing. You could still do the whole lolly porn thing and fetishing. Just, like, don't put it on Patreon, maybe? Just say you'll do it, and,
that was
you know,
another thing that Alex and fucking Pete were bringing up. Well, there's all these artists. Names, motherfucker. Names. If you were that fucking
oh, man, there's all these artists. Oh, man, you're so fucking worried about the artists. Fucking say,
No, I know a couple. I just wasn't going to throw them under the bus.
like, you don't need... Yeah, no, I just don't, like, one. It's like, I don't care, you know, do what you fuck. You know, I mean, I've alienated the whole creepypasta community. When I first joined, I came off Tat's fame because I was well known for being a writer for him and a voice actor in his videos. So I made my own channel, made a creepypasta reading of a story that no one else wanted to narrate, right? And then I narrated it, and it got 200,000 views right off the bat.
Damn.
Got 5,000 subscribers first month because I had all these factors going for me. So then some guy's like, dude, you're a cool narrator. You should join the Creepypasta's community Skype group. So I do. And there's like a bunch of people there. And then finally, so Pasta goes, how many subs you got? I'm like, 7K. Oh, man, that pissed everyone in the room off.
Why, because it was too small or what?
No, because it was too big. No one there had 1,000.
It sounds like the exact opposite of the Brony community would be like, oh, let me pull out the seat here. They're like, oh, what? Oh, he's popular.
I got all the accusations that I'm scamming, that I'm a con artist, that I'm fucking botting my channel, you know, that I did this, that I'm somehow trying to manipulate people into my shadowy organization. Like, fuck, man. I've been here for a week. Jesus. I have like 10 videos. I'm sorry. Oh, dude, that was fucking great. But yeah, I mean, Mr. Creepypasta at the time was cool with me, and we worked together on a few projects and all that. But then, you know, Patreon became a thing, and Creepy Pasta makes this video saying,
"Yeah, I understand things have been busy on your end."
That is an understatement.
Yeah, I've sort of predicted this, as I've been in a call with the Lost Narrator, and I made a remark. I was like, you know what's going to happen? You're going to show up. Well, I gave him a little too much credit. You're going to show up, and then you're going to have nothing to say.
God damn it.
I kind of aggravated him, I think, a little bit last time, because I was like, hey, oh, you're giving me so many good things. Could I use this? Oh, yeah, sure. And before I published the video, he's like, oh, I thought you were just going to quote me. I didn't realize you were taping. And I was like, no, I don't have to publish it. And he was like, okay, that's fine. And I didn't think there'd be a problem. Because he was kind of complaining about other people in the creepypasta community.
Like, there's not a lot of people to fucking complain about.
Yeah. Well, this will give me more people to... You know what? He could always say I was lying and being full of shit. Mr. Creepypasta, I think, was the guy who was mumbling about it. Yeah.
I have opinions. I have opinions. I was gonna say it's not necessarily like all bad. It's just like I said. I feel like a lot of the stuff is just clicky. It's really hard to branch into that. And even I've tried branching into that part of the creepypasta stuff. But it's so hard to get into it. And I'm just like, whatever, fuck them. I'll just do my own fucking thing.
Well, you know what? Creepy Readings did say he's I have that on tape where he said he was a big fan of yours. So
I was gonna say I have seen him lurking in my comments. So I was like, oh, I recognize that name. I know who that is.
And yeah, I wasn't a big expert. The only two people I knew in creepypasta are, well, you two guys. And yeah, I think Jim stepped out on it a while ago, but you know, even still.
Oh yeah, no. Is my mic on?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you sound great.
Okay, just making sure, because I've had problems with Discord and like TeamSpeak and shit, accidentally muting my mic.
I was dying to hear from him because I kept hearing from like Josh and other people that he was helping him out with the Toon Kritic drama, and I never quite found out how he winded up getting involved.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's how we winded up talking or something like that because, do you know anything about the Toon drama at all?
Oh, I have been lurking and I have been watching.
Yeah. So my off again, on again, best friend, worst enemy, Vita broke the story, and we put our petty
I'm
differences.
still waiting for you two to fuck, honestly.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh, hands down.
God damn it.
There's no amount of money that's making me take that out of the podcast. So yeah, he broke the story, and I think fucking creepy. Oddly enough, he's like, "Hey, there's this guy with 100,000 subs. He mentioned that he doesn't want you to know by name, so here you go." And I was like, "There's somebody that high up in creepypasta that knows that I'm a scummy son of a bitch. I am so flattered. I don't know who this guy is." And he's like, "Wait, he told you that?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm gonna deal with you instead of him." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Well, look me in the eye. Could you really, truly tell me that he's more reliable than you are?" I was like, "No, I am." Yeah, I wish I could. Well, actually, no, I don't. That was a complete lie. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He's a hoot, all right. There were a bunch of things out of we were going over various things or something like that, and he's like, "Oh, can't mention that. Can I keep the part about Digibro?" He's like, "Yes."
Oh god, that train wreck.
Oh, you saw that too, huh?
I saw that tweet and I was just like, "No,
I could not
honey."
fucking believe it. Because
I
like
can.
I follow Digi and what's the guy's name? What the what?
Mm-hmm.
On Twitter, and that guy loves ripping into Digi. Like, that's actually where I found him. He made a couple of videos about Digi.
There's a better one than What the What. Do you know who Y-Kick is?
No, I've never heard of that guy.
Oh, let me throw you the video, but the video that Y-Kick just put out, I think the other day, it's called, Should Lolicon Be Illegal? And you know who it's about, obviously. Oh yeah, no, it's about Digi, alright. He's on the front banner.
That just blows my fucking mind. Like, there was just this big to-do in the Brony community about the whole fucking Toon Kritic pedo grooming an underage girl scandal.
And then this shit
and
comes
Digi
out.
comes out here and is like, we need to let Lolicon on Patriot, dude.
I'll be honest. Like, I knew all the way back from Pub Crawl when he said, "I always wondered." If that's close to the Digibro accent, I don't know if Demon Thal, there it is. I always wondered what it would be like if I had to get in here and explain my interests in front of a court. And,
I'm sorry, what?
He's very upfront about it. He likes Lolicon. There's no, I have the screenshot. Like, if anybody doesn't believe me, I've reposted it several damn times, and his whole thing is like, "I'm very disappointed in Patreon." I was like, "Motherfucker, they have you by the balls. This isn't, if they drop you, it's game over. You're dead. You're boned, and you have people who are relying on you that are moved in with you. You're not just risking your life. You're gonna take everybody down with you. You dumb asshole."
Does nobody understand the idea of PR anymore? Like, even if you have like controversial like ideas and you want to say stupid
basically.
shit, you should just shut the fuck up and not say anything, especially when there's money or your reputation is involved. Nobody seems to understand that shit. Though I am glad he did say something, because fuck him for even thinking that. But
basic human fucking tact. Like I said, we just had the Toon Kritic thing happen, and now he's gonna talk about like Lolicon being allowed on Patreon and shit like that. It's like, dude, give it some time to cool down, man. Like, give it a year, and then you can get butt mad about Patreon taking away your little girl, porn or whatever.
That was the absolute worst time in the fucking world to have done that. But then again, I kind of understand why he wouldn't know, because that's kind of like a thing because of the Brony fandom right now.
yeah.
It's hard to explain to like an anime fan, "What, this is bad." Are you really? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the thing. Is it like the drawn Lolicon shit? It creeps me the fuck out, and I don't understand why people dig it. But it's not fundamentally hurting anybody. Like, you're not actually filming children or anything like that. So it's like, so long as you keep it far away from me, I'm going to let you do what you do until you actually hurt a kid. But I am going to judge the absolute fuck out of you for being...
That's what Y-Kick says in his video, and there's a very interesting part in there because he has his little podcast with his friends called the Procrastinators Podcast. And Digi wrote like some kind of graphic novel or, I don't know, fan fiction, whatever you want to call it, on the matter. And I'm like, are you writing about them as if they were anime girls with big giant eyes, or are you trying to make this as realistic as possible? Because doesn't that kind of put him on par with what Pete got in trouble for like a lifetime ago?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This is why I just stayed in my little corner. This is why I watch your videos, FNGR, and I watch everyone else, and I just watch the dumpster fire just implode upon itself and just eat my popcorn and just watch. That's all I do.
Hey, look, I'm super grateful that you're back now, but I've been trying to get you back for like months, years. I was like, is Lost hate me? I'm so sorry.
No. You are fine. Like I said, Mag and I, we watch every time you put out a new How Not to Brony, we're like instantly fucking watching the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, no, I want to give a big up to the voice actor, section of the Brony fandom. It kills me, but you guys handled that the exact opposite way of how the Brony analysis community. You guys were fucking beautiful, from Ashley H to Magpie to Whoopcake. I think I missed one screen cap where she said something really fucking. She tipped me off on the other person who was a defending performance major.
What happened with this? Because I haven't been like you're like my last remaining link to the Brony community. Like that's like you're like you and Vita are like the only two Bronies that I actually hang out with anymore. There's like a couple of people on Twitter, but we don't really talk about the pony thing. Maybe some people on Tumblr or whatever, but what happened with the...
Do you want Vita in, since the last guy basically is...
No, I'm just saying, I'm like out of the loop here.
Okay, so this is what this is a funny story, oddly enough, in the wrong way here.
Oh god.
Some guy came up to me who wishes to remain anonymous, and I'm gonna respect that. He's like, hey, I have this guy who's defending Toon Kritic. I was like, you could stop talking, that's good enough. He's like, but there's more. No, you're fine. Just give me the video.
I can do my own research. Just
and
give me
what's
a name.
funny, usually I looked at like first, like I listened to like 30 seconds of it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to use this. Going through, being real gentle with the guy. Cause I'm like, you know what, maybe you didn't have a Snickers today. Maybe you're underslept. I'm going to try and fucking explain this to you. And he's sitting there using all these dumb retarded things of people abandoning him and shit like that. Lost.
I was gonna say, I remember that stupid video.
Yeah, no, and he basically winds up saying, he's like, friends shouldn't abandon friends no matter what. And okay, yeah,
okay, like,
no, that's not the real fucked up part.
I was gonna say, that's not the real fucked up part.
No, I listened to it, and I remember, like, explaining to my friend Solar Flare, and he's like, good luck getting people to listen to a whole video full of performance major, and I was like, okay, here's a 20-second clip where he's like, I am the biggest erotic role player ever, and if the child is mature enough, and I was like, oh boy, this is...
Gold mine. Gold mine.
This is done. Oh my god, I almost missed this. I would have been so fucking embarrassed if I would have cut off right before that. I got that done in like fucking by early the next day. He's like, wow, you got done to her. I was like, I thought it was important. He told me that there were 3 other people who was associated with him that were willing to come to me, so if anybody got caught covering it up, I suppose you could say that they wanted to tell me. I don't know. I'll take his word for it. I've heard from Foolery, who said he dated him 3 years ago, and I'm not going after Foolery or anything like that. He made a remark. He's like, yeah, no, he's did this shit. I dumped him for before. This is some shit he's always been on. He's never gonna change. Yeah.
Like, what is up with all of the fucking pedos coming out lately? Like, I was on Twitter earlier today, and like apparently like Jared Fogle from the old Subway commercials is trying to get out of prison or something.
What, is he seriously trying to get out of prison? Are you?
I haven't dug into it. I just saw something like Instapundit or somebody retweeted like an article that I didn't have the time to go and read before we started recording, and apparently he's like roped Donald Trump into his attempt to get out of prison for like actually molesting children.
I was gonna say, he had a pedophile ring going on. Like, it was fucking insane.
Yeah, I know vaguely about it, so I can't speak too much from an informed standpoint on that matter. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I didn't look into the Jared Fogle thing. I heard that he was diddling kids, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
it's time to write off the Subway guy.
I was gonna say, I think from the articles I did read that he was using his platform specifically to target kids because he had a foundation that would help inner city kids, if I remember correctly from the articles I was reading.
And then like Nickelodeon let go Schneider.
Yeah, they let go.
That's why I cannot fucking wait for Metikur's video on that dumpster fire.
I thought he was only doing one on Kurt Eichenwald, and I don't know why that's late right now.
He's been like trying to save Andy Worski.
I heard a little bit. What the fuck is Andy doing? The purple dragon dildo. What is the crazy name thing with the podcast right now?
Like apparently, like Andy quit smoking pot and he went on NoFap for like 2 days and just decided to fundamentally restructure everything. Like he freaked out and decided to restructure everything, working out with his podcast, and like he started getting in fights with the chat on the Kumite and stuff like that. And Jim Metikur popped into the podcast and he was like, okay, look, Andy, I've seen this happen before. Like there was a whole big conversation, but his basic point was, look, I've seen this happen before a lot. My channel is full of people doing the exact same thing you're doing right now, only they didn't stop when they got the chance. You need to stop now and get a handle on this shit before you turn into one of the people that I make videos about.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was kind of watching for a bit, and I was like, he does care about people. Aw. Good lord.
Oh, so where is the man of the hour?
I don't know. Maybe perhaps if you tried tweeting at him as well. I mentioned to him earlier today. I'm
gonna tweet at him. Hang on.
Let me at 12:32. Here at 1:05, 8 hours.
Here.
Oh, there he is.
Hey!
I was waiting for Lost to start screaming at me. You just tricked me on the podcast.
Shoulder check. Sorry. I got poor sleep.
Oh.
You were right. I literally opened my eyes like, oh man, what time is it? And I look at my Discord and it's just a message from you that says, wake up! And then my eyes go over to the fucking thing and I'm like, oh shit! And then all I do in response is do this at you.
Yeah.
And then run upstairs.
Yeah.
That would have been fine. We'll just sit here and chill with Lost until you get your shit together.
Yeah, when I originally ran into Lost, I was like, oh, cool. He sounds just like freaking the guy from Drama Alert. I gotta use that somehow.
You'll know when he's coming when he's like, let's get right into the news.
Oh, God.
Beautiful.
God damn it.
So I was just telling Brother Jim here about Performance Major, and they were talking a little bit about we asked earlier, how in the fuck did you get involved? Like, how did you run into, were you friends with Josh already? Like, we were completely...
Actually, no.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something that I'm kind of confused on, because I was in the creepypasta fandom and the brony fandom at right about the same time, and those two circles didn't really interact all that much.
No.
Like, that was two completely separate areas of YouTube.
Well, the way that I figured out about it was through Vita's video, randomly while I'm on YouTube.
Because, of course, it was fucking Vita. Everything comes back to Vita every single goddamn time.
And
bottom of everything. Vita did 9/11.
Yeah. And then from that, I looked at the official recording, and I saw Josh and British Ninja. And then I remembered who Toon Kritic was. One thing you need to know about my dark and long storied past is that I used to run an internet radio station called, I used to run a show on an internet radio station on PBL called That Brony Show. That was before I did all the creepypasta shit. And I actually had Toon Kritic on the show at one point, and I'm like, holy shizzle McFizzle, I actually talked to that dude. And then I felt incredibly guilty. I wanted to vomit. And then I'm like, oh, shit, these guys are actually friends with this cuck.
Wait a minute. That Brony Show. Did you guys ever have a group on there called the Pony Fuckcast?
I don't. That Brony Show was a podcast, a part of a larger station.
Yeah, no, we were a podcast too. That's why I'm asking. Because I'm looking at 3 different Brony shows on here. And I was like...
There is the Brony Show, and I'm that Brony Show.
Okay, which one?
I got fired a lot from the radio station for being controversial.
Okay. No,
And the funny thing is that they kept rehiring me because I also got the most views.
Yeah,
I mean, like you get one guy and there's like, okay, I'm gonna play some music, and you like play some like I don't know, mic the microphone, and gets like 20 viewers. I go on there, suddenly it shoots up to 100 views, and I'm talking about peanut butter and jelly. So what they used to do is that they would suspend me for weeks at a time.
And then bring you back in when their views got low enough for it to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually they fired my co-hosts for being a cuck. And then I just took a break, moved over to YouTube, and at that point I'm just like, I want to try something different. And then I heard that there's this creepypasta that wasn't going to get narrated, so I decided to narrate it. Either way, I had two.
What was that? Hang on, I gotta know what was the creepypasta? What was the story?
Have you ever heard of 1999? I'm the only reason why anyone narrated that.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Oh shit! People are calling me. I can't. I'm in a podcast.
Tell him to fuck off.
If any of them are fun, we can fit one more person in.
Well, it's Josh.
Oh, well, fucking throw him in.
I'm on.
I know that would make his day. He would leave so fast. Tell you what, you had Josh all that Dr. Wolf.
I only called him a fucking flaming retard last time I was on this show. Sure, bring Josh.
Yeah, I know. That was beautiful.
Look, my guys. As much as you dislike Josh, I'll put this on the record here. He's the only one out of like all those people that Lily Pete is criticizing who like is actively involved with the police coordination and effort to get Toon Kritic arrested.
To be fair,
that's the thing. Like as long as we're going on record, I don't actively dislike Josh or anything. I used to watch the guy's content all the time. He's a good guy. I don't have a problem with him. I just think that the way that they handled that shit was kind of fucking window licking.
Yeah.
Let me walk that back for Jim, because I remember when I was telling him about it, he's like, Josh is one of the cool guys. Are you about to take that from me? And I was like, me? He after we explained the situation about like Josh and them saying, let's not put the video out at the time, Jim Fear is a bit more transparent with, that sort of thing. And I was on the same page, and that's why his reaction was what it was.
Oh my God, you're going to turn me into a white knight. Okay, so the whole thing behind the let's not put the video out right now was because they wanted, okay, you know how badly the video that what's his name put out, Dr. Wolf went.
Yes. You know what's funny story about that? I only watched the first. Yeah, the first time I saw that, I only watched the first minute and a half, and I was like, "Yeah, this is really good." And then Vita's like, "No, you have to keep watching. He forgives him." What?
Yeah,
yeah, like Dr. Wolf sitting on there looking like fucking Mark Zuckerberg talking about "We are learning." It's like, okay, so they updated your AI. Gotcha.
He wanted to give those people a chance to have a bit more time to refine their wordplay, which, as we can see, probably would have been a good idea. Also, he wasn't against the idea of the leaking, per se. He was against the idea of it being leaked in the way that it was, considering that the guy who did leak it had no care in the world for the victim's anonymity, who then had to change their, all their social media, their Skype names, and, and had to make up all new accounts because the person was absolutely mortified to be a part of it. Okay. So, when you look at it from that perspective, you're like, hey, yeah, maybe it could have been handled a little better.
The call itself was leaked from a different individual other than Vita, from what I understand.
Oh, no. It's not. He wasn't mad at, he wasn't as mad. Like Vita, he was, at first he was kind of apprehensive about it, but I mean, he kind of grew to enjoy that. He was really upset with the actual call being leaked. Too.
No, there were things that needed to be cut out, the individual's, the victim's name, and I would have probably
what kind of lack of foresight must you have?
I would have cut out at least
not cut that out.
Josh's friends list, I think it showed people in there that didn't need to be involved in all that. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I think if anything, just the visuals and the edit of the name, those were the biggest things I had with that. But Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I saw the call, and I'm like, okay, Josh Scorcher. I used to watch this guy, so I hit him up on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, guy, let me take my crack at this, because I need to make sure this is being handled right, because I already feel gross and disgusted. And you know, when you have a channel as like, I don't want to brag or anything, but when you have a channel like mine, people like when I send out a tweet or whatever, people tend to kind of listen. You know, I mean, I'm not big, but I'm not small either. So, you know, when I hit Josh up, I think his exact words were, well, at first I was going to kind of ignore it, but then I saw your follower count, and well, I mean, a beautiful friendship started right there.
Yeah.
And that's what I got involved, and I started helping with the scripts that they've been like doing, like yeah, because Josh was making a video on it, and I read it, and there was the script itself was a lot more religiously focused and focused on more of the definition of like forgiveness via like their specific interpretation of the Bible's words, and you know, Jesus and what I'm like, look, man, you got to take a look at it from a secular point of view, and from the secular point of view here, you know, people are just going to look at you and they're going to think you're proselytizing, and you know, I mean, the first kind of reaction I got was, you know, I'm not afraid to show my religion. It's not about being afraid to show your religion. It's just about like knowing your audience. And at that point, he conceded. We rewrote the script quite a bit, and you know, that video was actually really well received. I mean, honestly, it's like it's about the spheres of well, it's about like the social spheres that people are in, and you know, just some people not being able to see from the other point of view. And I mean, that's what I kind of came in there to do, to help people see eye to eye.
Well, thank you for actually helping him write that fucking script, because up to that point, it seemed like nobody knew how the fuck to even approach this.
The follow-up video with Josh and Wolf I thought was pretty decent. I thought it was a step in the right direction.
But all the other cookie cutter videos that I remembered that came out at like the same time with the silhouette Toon image, and I'm just like, oh, why are you all making this about yourselves?
I kind of liked the silhouette the